Check. Okay, I think it's working. Let's see. Check, check, check. Yes, we're back. Okay. Okay. Um, Pop out chat. Good to go? Yep. Okay. Well, sorry about that. Man, one thing after another. So, what was I doing? So here's what I'm working on. If you have any requests, leave them in the chat. And as always, if you have questions about what I'm doing or want me to talk about something else, feel free to leave it in the chat and I'll check it from time to time. Working on Ink. It's a little side project. I have a video on YouTube explaining what it is if you're not familiar, so watch that real quick and come back. I'm probably going to work on this bug. I did red for important ones, so fix this bug. I don't know why it's happening, so let's see if we can figure that out. And then I'll probably start on undo and redo because everything else is easier to do on the device, and that sometimes messes up the stream. So that's what we'll do. Tweets. I don't know what that means. Okay. Just a special. He was asking about it, so there we go. Okay. Let's get going. Nope. Jeez. Habits. Oh, sorry. I got a screencast theme now, so it's faster to change. Oops. Jeez. Thanks, Kevin. uh, nice. Oops. Well, it's fine. I really want to work on a Mac app at some point. I don't know. That seems like a good thing to do late at night. It's like 12:40 here Eastern time. I got a client, which is fantastic. A little stressful to not have one for a bit, so have one now. So that's good. So I worked on client stuff today, and then hung out with some family tonight. So just getting started. I'm not tired at all. So I'm gonna plan to work for a bit. We'll see. Also, having the stream helps stay focused at night. I was working on some other stuff before. I'm designing a cabinet for my PC. So, yeah. So close button works for me. The bug was saying sometimes close doesn't work. And for me, it works every time on the simulator. I don't know why. Are we in production, or I think this is production. Let's switch this to development. Okay. So maybe if it's like a orientation thing, or I don't know. I've seen it happen on my device, but I've never been able to make it happen while debugging, which is kind of annoying. Okay, I'll make a new one. Maybe that's related. Close. Ah, that's totally it. And I bet now if I relaunch the app and open one I already had, it works. Because I changed, that totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. I changed how I present them, and it's kind of gross now. Yep, that's it. Found the bug. Okay. You wouldn't believe how much time I've spent on this already. It's funny how sometimes you can just sit down fresh and immediately a problem jumps out at you. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I'm going to change this to self-show board, and we'll wrap this up. I'll move that down, I guess. Private show board. I already have one. Oh, man. Okay, well, that should fix it. This is a gross method, but, oh, sorry, everyone. There we go. That's a gross method, but it works, and I'll fix it later, but I don't want to do that now. Okay, so, yeah, I guess we don't actually need that here anymore. Great. Totally. I've definitely wasted, like, full days before on something, and then the next morning, finish it in 10 minutes. Okay, so I can close here, and I can close here. Fantastic. That has been haunting me for a few days now. Jeez. Fix, close. Yay. I'm kind of artificially using ink as my to-do list because, oops, I just want to use the product more. So it's definitely not efficient, but in using it, it's brought up some frustrations I've had with it. It's been really good using it daily now. So I'm a fan of that. I also redid my website with it, which is stupid, but I'll show it off because I'm kind of proud of it. NowNothingMagical.com is just this little thing I made in ink, which is pretty cool. And like the code for it is like 3 styles and then the SVG body and the links, and that's it. So I thought that was pretty neat. It's like super simple. Yeah, bug. Kevin's the best cheerleader. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's done. Where's my iPad? That's in the other room. BRB. Let's not wake up my wife while I do this. right. Play a lot of Risk. I'm good at it. Just so you know. Thanks. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of Execute. I get a lot of I've had a lot of people that did Execute say they love this. It's definitely not as in depth, and I don't expect you to learn as much. But yeah, I just checked it live. Did you see it? But it's good for me because it keeps me motivated, and I'm productive. And I definitely had several people say they picked up like really valuable things. Like one person said they learned debugging from the last one, the one before, from watching me debug something, which I think is awesome because like really learning how to debug is just like trial and error or like watching someone. So I think it's a good format for learning those sort of things, or keyboard shortcuts sometimes, usually from someone asking, and then I'll like say what it was. So like that sort of thing, I think actual like code probably isn't too valuable, but people seem to like it, so I keep doing them, so it's good. Yeah, for sure. Hope you're doing well, man. What was I doing? Yeah, so I guess I'll work on undo. That seems like a good one. Erase is still pretty... I'll do erase real quick. No. I'm not happy with... I'll just show you how it works if you're not familiar. It'll help me to talk through it. So you can draw some stuff. And then to erase, you had the icon and it lights up. It's obviously a placeholder icon. And then you can erase. And then when you're done erasing, you have to click it again. So now you're drawing. A lot of people are instinctively erasing and then tapping the color picker, which doesn't stop erasing right now. So I think what I might do is if you tap the color picker and you are erasing, it just stops erasing and doesn't do anything. Or if you change colors, which seems like the right interaction, but I just don't like how erase is in general. I was thinking about putting erase as in like the last color. I don't know. What do you think about that? Thanks, Aubrey. I consider open sourcing the whole thing, but I don't know. I feel like some of this is like hard to replicate, and it's not very good still. Like the drawing stuff isn't fantastic, so I just haven't done it yet. I'd like to at some point. Once I have a business, I guess, then I'll open source it. Ahead of time, I guess it doesn't make sense. I was really going to, and then someone's like, it's a distraction. You're going to spend more time doing stuff you wouldn't normally do because it's open source. And like, they're right. I should just ship it. So, okay. Erase as a color. Some people like, yeah, I think changing the eraser icon to a pencil might be a neat way, but then it's kind of ambiguous. Like, because you're tapping it to change it to the opposite of what the icon says, or you're tapping it to change it to what the icon says, and you're not currently seeing what the icon is. It's weird because it's like sort of backwards depending on how you think of it. I think that's a really good... I like that a lot personally, to have like a thing to go back to the pen. I was also considering having like a thicker marker. A lot of times I use color for like headings and stuff, but then I want like a darker black to have like a even darker heading, or like more grays. I don't know. So I was considering maybe I'll add a thicker pen, and then I could have like thick pen, regular pen, or eraser, and you can toggle between all three and make it a little more clear. I don't know. But I also don't want to have like more complexity because, or like some coworker is like only drawing on the huge one and everyone else is drawing small. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's just asking for bad things. Yeah. Yeah, if you have the eraser, the icon could be inside the circle. That would be neat. Yeah, I want to have some other special colors at some point. I had an idea for, well, a friend had an idea for yellow could be used for pointing. So you could just like circle something and then it would disappear after a few seconds. It would kind of just like reverse draw and fade out. So you can kind of just like draw, like point at stuff, and then it like fades away and doesn't like stay in your drawing, which I think would be really neat. Kind of hard to explain in the UI, which is why I haven't done it yet. And also just more work. So having like 2 special colors would be neat if it's like special colors are a thing. I don't know. What if you do short? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna add keyboard shortcuts. But normally, like when I'm doing it the most, it's my iPad flat on the desk. Jeez. And I'm drawing on it, right? So I don't have the keyboard attached or the keyboard up. If I had like the smart keyboard or whatever it's called attached, it would be awkward because it's flat while I'm drawing and it'd be in the way, and I like rest my arm on it. I don't know. I was gonna add a bunch of keyboard shortcuts because I like keyboard shortcuts, but I don't think it's super useful for this application just because you probably won't have the keyboard attached most of the time. And most people don't have the keyboard, I feel like. Maybe they do, I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely add one at some point, but I don't think it's a solution to the problem. I still need to solve it in UI as well. Yeah, I considered that as well, a long press or 3D touch. You can't 3D touch on iPad, so it definitely would be long press. I was thinking originally a 3D touch could be, this has been good, I'm just going to talk through all my problems, this is great. 3D touch could be changing the weight, like to make it like you could press and hold, like force touch to get a slider, and you can drag the slider as you're force touching to like increase the pen thickness, and you let go and now you have a thicker pen. I think it'd be neat. We can't do that on iPad, so I mean it could be long press, whatever, but yeah, I was thinking if I move erase to a color, it's definitely less quick to use, but if I add undo, you might not want erase as often, because right now I mainly just erase as I'm drawing, and I don't erase very much after the fact. So maybe if you just have undo and a quick gesture for undo as well, then it's fine if erase is kind of buried in the color picker. So it also makes it more clear that if it's a color, then you're exiting, because you can only erase or draw at the same time. It makes that a lot more clear. Yeah, I think special colors would be neat. Yeah, I want to buy a cheap Wacom, and make sure it works on the Mac via the web and the Mac app when I do that. Man, the chat is lively tonight. This is fantastic. Yeah, that would be neat. I think erase with a finger would be a cool preference if you have the pencil on. I was also considering right now you can drag the canvas with 2 fingers always. I was considering maybe having a preference for if you have the pencil, you can just drag with 1 finger, because dragging with 2 is kind of a pain. Already it does a better job with the touch detection if you have a pencil. It will like do the right thing a little better, faster. It knows to reject certain touches a little better. It still needs some work, the 2-finger stuff. Give a status bar. Yeah. I think there's definitely there needs to be a clear way to show that you're currently erasing. I don't have a status bar at all right now, so I wouldn't do like a real status bar. And I think having a giant banner, especially on like an iPad Pro, would be really distracting. But I definitely need something. So I think I'm going to work on undo and see if removing the icon altogether feels bad. And if it doesn't, then I'll make it a special color. I think that's the plan for now. If not, I'll probably try like a tool picker, which is the other top suggestion, I think. So yeah, let's build undo. So I built the undo was like the first thing I built after like just the really basic drawing when I was working on this project. And I did the system undo. Excuse me. So you could like shake to undo, or like keyboard shortcuts and stuff, and you can redo and all that stuff using NS Undo Manager. And that was really neat. But I removed it after I did the server stuff because it kind of got complicated. Especially if down the road someone else was drawing. Does undo only undo what you drew, or does it undo what anyone's drawing? So like what Canvas did, this text editor I used to work on at a company, Command Z would just undo the last change no matter who did it, which is kind of unexpected sometimes and could be annoying. I think what I'm going to do is have undo only undo things that you've done. And if you want other people to undo things, you can just tell them or erase it or whatever. I'm just assuming everyone's kind of like talking while they're using the product most of the time if they're drawing at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do. I probably won't use the system undo thing yet, and I can add that later. It's kind of a pain to set up. So yeah, let's do that. Cool. Yeah. This is all very good info. So thank you for the all the ideas, everyone. This has been fantastic. So yeah, undo. So I need an icon first. I got some tweets. Let's check the tweets. This guy's just being a jerk on Twitter, you know, the usual. Yeah. Parakeet. How frustrating is this delay? Because I know, like, I'm seeing the chat and I'm talking, but you guys are, like, way behind because the stream's just slow. Is that annoying? Just curious. Also, just, you know, while we're at random thoughts, is the video in the bottom right annoying? Good? Do you wish it was bigger? Do you wish there was better lighting? I do. Give me some feedback here. What do you think? I think I'm just going to use these chevrons as back and forth. That seems good. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about the delay, really. Yep. Editor. Cool. Did you see that? I was dragging and it said 0. Nope. It's 2. That's a cool shape. Thanks. I don't know. I don't even know what the video looks like. I mean, I can't see it. Hopefully it's not weird. Cool. How tall are these? 24, I think. Yep. So both of these, do them one at a time. I love the primaries icons. They're all very, very good. But they're at the worst size by default. I never want them at the size they come at. So I have to shrink them down, and then I end up pixel fitting them, which I almost never do at first because it takes a lot of time. And maybe I don't even use the icon, you know, I don't want to waste the time to pixel fit it. And it's a bummer if you don't come back and do it. So I don't know. I wish he would just give them to you at better sizes. Whatever. I've asked before, and he was like not interested at all. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I guess I have to do some work. I can't have it all done for free. That's fair enough. Some of this stuff I've like definitely talked through before. The stuff I'm doing right now. So I'm not talking through it again because I'm assuming some of you have watched the previous streams and don't want to be repetitive. But I also don't expect everyone to watch the previous streams because, like, holy crap, that's a lot of video to watch of most of it fairly boring things. This has been a very good discussion. This is a lively evening. So I guess it's good for Pacific people and Europeans versus during the day, Eastern time, like people are at work. Undo button. So I'm going to make a property for these. I guess I'll talk through this a bit since there's some folks here. So I usually make a property like this and set it to a closure that I call immediately so I can make a thing and return it and then configure it all up here so I can kind of keep all that code together, which is nice. Translates false. So I want to opt into auto layout. That's that line of code. I'm going to set the image to chevron left, and this will be normal. We'll set the tint color to light gray. I need to pick a better color for this down the road, but whatever. I guess that's it. Oh, I should set the style or the type. I hate UI button has the worst initializer. All right, so cool. There's that. We will also make it not enabled by default. Is enabled equals false. Okay, and we'll just copy and paste this for now. This sort of thing I never really know what to do, because I don't want to make like a special class that just configures it, but also I don't want to repeat myself. I usually just end up repeating myself for this sort of thing. Same for like text fields in like sign-in forms. It's like I only need it twice, so I don't know. All right. I guess I'll just undo button, redo button, and I'll add the auto layout stuff, and then we'll figure out how it works. So I'll do it only if it's not locked. This method is pretty out of control. I need to make it better, but for now, it'll work. Huh. Yeah, man, types are the best. It's funny that people think React has types. I mean, it sort of has types, but just barely. We have real types here, and that is pleasing to me. Equal to constraint, constant rather. Jeez. All these things are also equal to the same thing, and I'll do it each one individually. I feel like I should probably make this like somewhere else. If anything, I should make like a editor button that does this automatically, but whatever. Undo. Oops. So I'm just setting the width equal to 44 and the height equal to 44, or height equal to the width. Easy enough. And then I'll make this in the bottom left. So leading anchor constant constraint equal to the view's leading anchor. So that makes it left aligned. And we'll do bottom. And then we'll just keep piling onto the mess with this. And we'll make the leading equal to the undo button trailing. I guess we can make this a little bit cleaner. Okay. How's that look? Yeah, man. Autocomplete's where it's at. Yeah, I totally have been in that. Well, like, Xcode's the worst. I hate everything. It's so terrible. And then it's like, you know, work on something else. And it's like, Sublime is a fantastic editor. I have no complaints with Sublime at all. But just like no completion is a huge pain. Or a huge bummer, I guess. So I'm going to actually change this to be the width is equal to 32, and this is equal to 44. Let's try that. I'm glad I did it here equal to that one, so I have to redo it. That's good. That looks a little tight, though. Good enough. I'll change this back. I'll mess with it later. I'm trying not to do too much design stuff, like visual stuff, because I want to get it all working, and then I can work on visuals. So, like, I'm working on design in the sense of, like, where does a race go, but not in the sense of, like, these icons need to be pixel fitted or the spacing's wrong or that sort of thing. So, or there's no animation. Like, that obviously needs to get fixed. So, okay, cool. I got buttons. I'm going to put this in a branch. Oops. Get checkout minus B. Undo. Okay, well, let's make some actions, I guess. Why my code coloring keeps not working? So frustrating. Oh, that's fixed. Yay. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Those icons suck. I will revisit them. Um, actions. Okay. They do look like you're navigating between boards. I completely agree. I bet he has an undo icon. I'm gonna fix this right now. It's driving me nuts. Parakeet. Undo. Yep. We'll use undo and redo. That's a much better thing. I'm an idiot. Okay. I have to go resize them. Jeez. Glad I didn't take the time to pixel fit these. Also a cool shape. I've had this song stuck in my head for a while, which I really like. But I feel like I can't listen to music during the stream because I feel like some people usually listen to their own music or doing whatever, and then kind of treating this as like a podcast. And they kind of have it just like background music. I already had undo and redo icons in here. One of those nights. I'm gonna use these though because I know what size they are. So actually, I should use the other ones. I'm gonna do that. Okay. Because I think they're aligned better to center it actually vertically. Yeah, I was considering having a new button on the board. Normally when I do that, I just like drag it and throw it away, like swipe it super far, and then start drawing somewhere else. Right now, there's no way to like sync your position, your view position, so that's not ideal for other people because they'll have a hard time finding it, and there's no zoom out yet. So it works good for just me, but I agree that it's not ideal. So anyway, on my list. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, maybe even like new and archive the current one or something would be cool. Seriously, that's my biggest thing, Charlie, is the Sublime multiple cursors are so fantastic. I use them like constantly, and not having a max code, I copy and paste things into Sublime, use that, and come back like quite a bit. Okay, we have our buttons. Jeez, I am not good at Vim, like not at all. I much prefer Nano, which I feel like is not an okay thing to say. And there's probably people judging me, but I like the code coloring in Vim a lot, so I put up with it. Okay, so I'm not going to use the real actions just yet, or the real undo manager, because I don't want to deal with that, and this will be a lot faster, and eventually I can add that. I mean, I could even add my own fake like shake stuff, but I don't want to do that just yet. So I'm just going to make my own methods, and then we can use the new one or the system things down the road. But I just want to get this going tonight, and no one shakes their device on purpose, so it's just me wanting to be cool and use all the system things and not actually being productive. So that's my justification. Primary action. This is one of my favorite things I've added in like iOS 8. Was that 9 maybe? The primary action triggered. It's great. You have to remember like which thing it was, especially for some of the weird ones like pickers and stuff. Cool. I guess I need a thing. Gosh, this is getting out of control. I'm tempted to make like a drawing manager that has state for all of this, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I just want to get this done and I can refactor it later. See, if it had it open source, I'd do all that right now. I wouldn't get anything done tonight. So Update, undo buttons. Seems like a not great name. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to store an array, or a stack really, of layers that you've worked on. Both, I guess. Maybe I should just use the real system one, because it does all this for me. So tedious. Okay, I could store a stack of things I've done and things I've undone. And if I undo something, I can move it from the done thing to the undone thing. And then to redo, I can just move it back and then keep track of when I do those things. And then when I do those things, do the appropriate server actions. It seems like it would just be easier to use the system one, so I have to make all that. Sometimes I am a little indecisive. I'm tempted to get this code from the old thing. I don't know if that's going to be faster than trying to redo it, because it's so confusing to look at. Where's the code to add the things? I think I can just call undo actually, and redo. I think those are the things. Nope. Yeah, right, Brian? Isn't primary action great? It's I don't know when they added that. Recently. Primary action. They added that in iOS 9. So pretty great. I'm a big fan of it. So UI responder. Undo. I guess you just send it to undo manager. I thought there was like an undo function. Oh, yeah, that works. So undo manager, and we're call undo. Cool. Like that. And that should be okay. Nope. It's not. What's it called? It is called undo. Come on. Oh, it's because it's another class. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Xcode. Or Apple, or whoever I'm yelling at. Cool. Okay, so undo manager is nil right now because I don't have one. So I need to make one and set it. I'll probably set it on the draw view and have that manage all of this, which is nice. I can move some stuff out of the controller. And then just proxy this one to that one. So that should be fine. I'm gonna look at my old code. There's just too much. Habits. I'm curious, does the night shift stuff come through on the stream? Anyone know? Assuming you have night shift off. Does my screen look yellow? Just curious. I'm going to hate past me. Here's a good commit. Oh, geez. That's disgusting. I've already removed that for what it's worth. Good. No night shift. Cool. There it is. When did I make this? Probably forever ago. November 22nd. Yeah. Back when this was just a little like proof of concept prototype. Okay. So here's what we need to do. We need to do that stuff. Oh, I moved these to toolbar buttons. I see. Okay. I see. Okay. Huh. So really I need a function to disable and enable that I can call from Objective-C land, and that'll work. Okay, so let's make the interface, and then we'll come back and integrate it. Oops. Yeah, let's get rid of this too. And this. Clean up a bit. Okay. So, man, it's so frustrating that my code coloring keeps going away. Okay, so this is going to be in draw view, and I think what I'm going to do is have all of the, it's frustrating. I want my view to be really clean and not do too much, but also the views in the framework that I share to all my targets. So if I have it here, it'll work automatically on the other things. So I'm tempted to like put more stuff in here than I should. I guess I'm okay with it. Okay. Did create layer. Did enable layer. And did disable layer. I'm going to do that. So I can delegate this and then have the view controller do the networking. Because it's a view, come on, I'm not going to do networking in it, but I'd like to. Okay. So I need some private functions to enable and disable things. I also need to make a public undo manager. Okay. So this is going to be enable layer. Layer. I guess I can make this a parameter. Frustrating. I'll do it this way. I would normally like do some fancy enumerator stuff, but I just want to like find it and bail out immediately. So I guess I can still do that. I have to map it though. I can do index square. That's fine. Jeez. Okay, so we're going to find the ID of the layer we're going to edit. Then we're going to get a new mutable layer from layers that does that. We're going to say layer.isEnabled equals true. And we're going to set that on layers. And we're also going to delegate to that. So did enable layer self layer. Oops. Layer. Okay. That was much easier. Glad we did it that way. What did I do wrong? Oh, I called it index, not I, because that's a better name. And I don't have is enabled, so let's add that to layer. Easy enough. Public var is enabled equals true by default. I'll make it bool. That's fine. I'll make it true by default. I'm okay with that. And then in the dictionary version, which is somewhere, here it is, we can decode it. So is enabled equals try decode JSON key is enabled like that. And that should all work. So let's make sure. Just to implement all of these, so we can do that. Draw view to enable. Draw view disable. You know, sometimes you look at a word and it looks misspelled, no matter how much you know it's not. Networking to me looks super wrong right now. I know that's how you spell networking, but yep. You'd think they would have fixed this in the latest release, and they still didn't because no one there cares. Okay, this still works, I think. Let's check. Great, still works. Okay. Oops. All right, so now that is cool. Let's do the same for the undo. Nope. Draw view. Maldives. Man, it is so beautiful there. I would love to go diving in your part of the world. Very nice. I honestly don't know anything about it other than the water looks insane and everything's expensive, but it looks beautiful. False. And this is also very duplicate-y, but I want to move fast and we can clean this up later. There's really not that much gross code. I feel like I just write a lot of it while I'm streaming, which I guess is partially true because I'm just trying to move fast. I think if I just spend an afternoon, I could go clean up a lot of this stuff. Where applicable. Applicable? Applicable? I don't know. Words. Cool. I didn't change anything. I don't know why I reran. Cool. So we got that. And now when we create a layer, we should add that to the undo manager, and then we yeah, that's basically it. So cool. Got a text. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So unregister it here, I suppose. Undo manager. Register undo with target action selector. Okay. So target self, the selector is enable, and the object is the layer ID. And the this is confusing. This isn't right. It needs to be the same one that can toggle it, I think. Well, that which works. I'll just toggle. And that cleans up my code. Toggle. Just call it toggle. Great. Toggle. And great. And we can say if layer dot is enabled. I don't even need to store the old one, I suppose. Great. If layer is enabled now, we just enabled it. And if it's not, we just disabled it. So that's easy enough. Okay. That should work, I think. And then whenever we draw one, we should just call it, I think this will work. It's so hard to wrap my head around creating or like undo manager stuff, but I think this is right. So here's create layer, and I think all we need to do is register it here as well. That should be fine. If this works, I'll dry that up. Okay, let's try it out. Oh, also when I undo one, I need to update the layers. When I update the layers, does that do anything? Excuse me, it does not. Okay, that's not a big deal either. We can fix that. So we can say presentation layers index is hidden equals that, which is confusing. It's opposite the opposite, which is what it was before, but anyway, it's fine. Cool. This should work. Toggles is inaccessible due to private. Oh, because it's in an extension. I see. I'm very excited for file private to not be a thing. It's gonna be great. Layer. Oh, yep. That's going to be toggle layer .id. Cool. I end up with some pretty weird art in my tests, just like random scribbles. Okay, actually, I'm making a new document because I want to test some stuff. Okay, so S. Oh. And let's. Oh, the networking is not going to work, so I don't even bother to test it. And then undo. There might not be there might not be an undo manager. Let's check. I might have to make my own. I'm not sure. Did I make my own before? Undo manager. I never said it. I just became first responder. It should work. Is my keyboard shortcut wrong? Debug. Hardware. Shake. Where is it? Command Control Z. That's what I did. Time to set some breakpoints. Let's see if it's doing anything at all. Toggle. Okay. Nope. Let's do when I add one down here. It's not nil. That's good. Huh. Okay. So that's a thing. Why is this not working? Maybe the view controller has to be the first responder or have the undo manager. I'll try that. In view did load. In the one I'm in, obviously. Undo manager equals draw view dot undo manager. It's get only, of course it is. I'll just override it, I guess. I don't know if this is right. I think that's a UI responder method. That seems bad. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, Why is this recursing forever? Oh, I bet it's asking its parent or something. Frustrating. Maybe I need to make it the first responder. View will appear. Draw view become. I don't know. Frustrating. Do I still have a breakpoint there? I do. It should be calling toggle, and it's not. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't undo. I'm going to use those actions directly and see if that helps. Undo button. Okay. I'm registering the undo action. That's the only place I do it, so that should work. Oh, I disabled the actions though, like a dummy. Draw view. This is gotta be frustrating to watch. Backseat coding, like, oh, I see what you did. You know, you missed it right there. No, nothing happened. Why is nothing happening? I don't understand. I'm gonna make this my own action so I can debug it a little better. Actions. So way to get a count? There's not. Annoying. Oh, it's working. I bet the undo manager is nil then because it's not the first responder. It didn't undraw it though. Okay. Oh, I didn't click the button. The gesture's totally not working. I don't know why, but I'll figure that out later. Okay. What now? Set one here. How about that? So that should have worked. Why did it not? I'll just log some stuff. I feel like I'm getting close, minus the gesture. Print. Enable. To the wrong one. Who knows what label or what layer that is? If I keep clicking this, does it? Oh, no, nothing happens. Okay. Well, that sucks. How in the world is it getting this number? I'm fading a little bit. It's almost 2 a.m., so I guess that's understandable. Because that's where I register it. I guess I could also register it here with this. I'm just going to take this out. That's for redo. I'm just going to move that for now and try to get just undo working. And we can get redo working later. If I can get just undo working via the button tonight, I'll be happy. And then tomorrow I can work on redo and networking and stuff. Okay? It's different. How is it different? Oh, I bet I know. Okay. That is a problem. Glad we figured this out. Okay, so I think what's happening is when I make my layer here, I'll just do it all in the editor. Be easier to see. So I get a delegate from the, I bet we can see it right here. So if I make a new layer, it comes in and layer, the ID here is 363. That's what it starts with. Okay. So now if I hit continue, the layer I get back from the server has a different UID. It's 664 now. So when I'm sending the layer, I should be sending the ID, and I'm not. That will do it. Okay. I'm going to do this. Var layer. Oh, I guess I'll always do it. There's no reason not to. Layer.id. And that should work. Now, let's see. I have support only on this endpoint for creating an object with an ID. If the ID already exists, it'll fail. And this obviously seems dangerous because you could just pick whatever you want. But since they're UIDs, there's more UIDs than there are particles in the universe or something like that. So there's a pretty good chance, like within reasonable certainty, that you're not going to pick one that's ever been thought of before. So that's cool. 6, 8. And here, we have 6-8. Fantastic. Okay, so now if we turn these off, and if I undo, that should go away. Yes! So I can draw some more stuff. And undo. And it went away. Huzzah! That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, man, UIDs are awesome. You can read about them on Wikipedia. Swift cannot represent one as a number because it's so enormous. I only work with them as strings because they are insanely large. Undo drawing. So next I need to figure out how to hook up. I can probably do redo real quick just to make that work. It's the kind of thing where I get like worn out and I was like, I just want to go to bed. This sucks. And then I'll like do something that's, working and I'm like, yeah, that's great. I'm going to stay up and work some more. So, I don't know. Self-motivation. Very important. I was just like talking about something recently. Someone made something with like some terrible gear. I was like, oh, that's so counter my worldview because I love to buy like the best gear and assume it'll make me like make good stuff, which isn't the case. And then someone was saying it's the same for them, only with motivation. Thinking like if you only work when you're motivated and work really hard when you are, then you'll I went the rest of this. Then you'll like do your best work. But counter to that, if you only work when you're if you just work disciplined all the time, you'll have better output than if you only work when you're motivated, which is so counter to also what I believe, but I think is actually true, which makes me sad because I'm just a slacker. Okay. Undo. Redo. Huzzah. Fantastic. Okay, I need to figure out how to hook this up to the shake gestures because that's not working. I don't know why. And I also need to add some stuff to those buttons. I'm going to add this to my to-do list. It's a little verbose to put in my little drawing thing. So undo. This is going to be validate buttons, fix button spacing, just because it drives me nuts. Validate, it's a verb. Networking, test web with real time. I think that should all work automatically, but I just want to test it. And fix shake. So cool. Not that much stuff, but it's probably like an hour or two of work. Probably less. Yeah, I hear that. I mean, personally, React frustrates the crap out of me. I don't do it. I've tried to learn React a few times. I've even like paid for tutorials and just not been it's just so like I just really don't like JavaScript. So it's hard. All of the ink JavaScript is jQuery. So, there's that. I'd like to switch it to something, and I was like, oh, I should like figure out all this yarn crap and like get a front end framework and all this stuff. I was like, this is complete distraction. It works just fine with jQuery. There's no reason for me to switch it. It's like 20 lines of code at most, I think. So it's fine. It's not like I have this huge single page app that's all jQuery. That's obviously terrible. So yeah. Okay. I really don't want to go to bed. I'd rather work on all of this, but I've been really tired lately during the day. So I'm going to stop. But this has been probably my best stream for me personally. The discussion at the beginning was very helpful. Thanks to everyone that participated in that. I got undo and redo working partially, so that's really cool. Tomorrow I'm going to knock this stuff out. I probably won't stream it just because a lot of this is like tedious stuff. I feel like I'm more productive on like that sort of stuff when I'm not streaming because I can just like knock it out and not have to worry about trying to explain a little bit as I'm working. I may or may not stream some stuff tomorrow. We'll see. I've been doing a lot of it lately. I just picked up a client. So during the day I worked on my client. I said this already, I guess. So I'm waiting on the server people for my client to do some stuff. So I think I have tomorrow free and I can work on this. It's also supposed to rain like crazy, I think. Unless it changed again. No, it's supposed to thunderstorm. So I probably won't be going anywhere. I'll just be sitting here working. So I'm going to try to get up early. Early for me lately has been like 10. So I want to get up way before 10 and work a lot. So, yeah. My wife is working late tomorrow, so I'll probably stream some stuff in the evening because I'll be bored and lonely. But yeah, this has been good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kevin. My trusty cheerleader's back. Appreciate that. I say that in a good way. I don't know. Anyway, that's weird. So yeah, if you want to get in the beta, this is bonus for sticking around this long. Send me a DM on Twitter. I have open DMs with just your email address and your full name if it's not in your Twitter bio, and I will send you a test flight link. So I'll probably check these in like 10 or 20 minutes and send a whole bunch anyone that comes tonight. And if you're watching this later, if it's not already launched, then I'll send you one too. Yeah, getting there. I think my goal is to have this done in like 2 weeks, which is probably ambitious, especially since I have a client. But there's not that much left. Let's just look at it real quick. Okay. There's all the design. So let's just say that takes a week, which I think is being optimistic. So there's probably more than 2 weeks. Okay, well, this is fun. I want to add like some sort of profiles just to see like who's doing what, especially when there's collaboration. It'll be important. For avatars, I could just do... there's some DMs. For avatars, I could just do Gravatar. Maybe that's fine for now. I've done that in the past, and people are always confused on how to change it, so I'll probably make an uploader at some point. Gosh, that's so much work. Document thumbnails, that's going to be a real pain because on the server, I need to figure out where... I got to turn these off. Jeez. On the server, I need to figure out where you've drawn, and that is a little tedious if it's a long document. So I may need to pre-calculate that somehow. I have some ideas. It's just annoying. On iOS, on web, there's more. Just need to double check that. It's no big deal. It's one for... I can do it right now. Need to push creates to the web and titles and stuff. Bunch of stuff needs to happen on the web. Mainly this dashboard needs to be worked on. Right now it's like the cheapest, simplest thing. Okay, how do I make this stop? Go away. Yeah, Open Graph stuff, Twitter cards, 404 pages. I want to add embeds soon. I'll probably do this sooner or later. I have some friends that want to integrate it into their product, so that'd be cool. It should be really easy. I just haven't done it. Anyway, maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. Client just needs polish with the sign-up flow. Right now it's just web, which sucks, so it needs to fix that. Better like loading and no empty state for the list. Not a big deal there. Network connectivity. I need to probably... For now, I'm thinking I'm not going to let you draw if you aren't online. Which sucks, but for simplicity, I think it's fine. And if you're using it mainly in a business context, you'll probably have internet. And if you don't, you can draw on notes or paper or something, and fine. It's for collaboration. You need internet to collaborate. Down the road, I'll work on offline ones for sure. But for now, you got to be online. I think that's not unreasonable. Settings, if I do end up doing some of those drawing settings that can go on a screen, should be quick. I need to just test sharing to Slack and Twitter, not a big deal there. Crash reporting, SSL pinning, just boilerplate stuff. Show the lock, did that. Analytics, did that one. Maybe fix that one. I need to fix that one. This is great. So yeah, this is getting pretty good. So I think it's probably like 2 weeks of engineering and like a week of product design and maybe like a week of like marketing design because I'm really slow at design. So yeah, I think that's the plan. I'll work on, I don't know, before when I was doing Cheddar, I did the marketing stuff like really quickly because I was just so motivated to get it done. And I had a little bit of help. Not very much, but some. So I don't know. It's definitely at the point where if I work every waking hour for a bit, I could get really close a lot faster. Also, I know that I have some free time this weekend. I don't know. It's exciting. Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. All right. And thanks for bearing with me with the audio stuff at the beginning. Appreciate that. So, see ya.